our first webinar in our three-part series on ESG integration. And during the next 1 hour or so, we will delve into some details on what it really means for to lay a strong foundation for ESG integration within a company. And we have two ESG experts with us today. Very warm welcome to Guy Alexander, ESG Director of CDC, and Dr. Sunita Purushottam, Head of Sustainability at Mahindra Life Spaces. Well, from world leaders to business leaders, ESG has been on everyone's lips and minds in the last recent years. And it could very well be the most talked about acronym in the financial circles today. And what we've seen we've seen major announcements, proclamations, and pledges regarding ESG. I'm sure you're familiar with a lot of them, from the world's largest asset manager making an announcement on ESG to the Business Roundtable changing their purpose of a corporation to serve not just stakeholders, not just shareholders, but also wider set of stakeholders. Closer home in India, where the PM himself made an announcement on ESG, and very recently, Mr. Anand Mahindra stating that he will be supporting the WEF's effort to standardize reporting around ESG. So a lot of action around the world and in India on ESG. And what this has really led to is that companies are having to struggle with the balancing act between planet and profits. And these struggles are not going away anywhere, and it's only increasing. And at our conversations with Envent in a lot of companies, we do have leaders talking to us on how do they get started on the ESG journey, what should they be doing. So there's a lot of confusion. And that's the starting point of this webinar. And in this context, we'll now come down from 30,000 feet to the ground and see what my colleague Manish Jain has to say on this. Over to you, Manish.
So as a starting point, we scanned scores of job descriptions for positions seeking out ESG and sustainability professionals. Enter Vinny. Vinny here, who represents all such ESG professionals having multiple responsibilities, some of which are on the screen as a common thread from the above JDs being scanned. As you can see, it's a multidisciplinary role with elements of strategy, goal setting, targets, data collection and monitoring, communication approach, and all this entailing project management and coordination across functions. Well, it seems, or almost seems, that Vinny is an iron woman and now would need Jarvis to help her.
To summarize what Guy has been saying in the last few minutes, try to put together a few critical points. It is important that Vinny understands what the international ESG benchmarks are and how the investors are measuring ESG. It is very important to understand the stakeholders and the people relationships and people roles within a system, and that will help in developing a pragmatic approach to ESG. Identification of material issues and risks is also important, and Dr. Sunita is going to touch upon this in more detail in the next few slides. And finally, probably the most critical point made by Guy was that it's important to have leadership support throughout the process, and the role of management is very, very important in all of this.
If I can try to summarize the learnings for Vinny in 3 key points, it is 1, understanding and focusing on the critical areas with well-defined boundaries, because it will help channelize the management bandwidth in areas where it's needed the most. So, more so because when the concept of double materiality now intersects both ESG and financial parameters. Second is around the integration and how ESG cannot work in silos, but across functions, and that mapping needs to be done. And not only the strategic and operational dimension, but also talking about the cultural aspects, because finally it's what also Guy mentioned towards the start as an investor, that it's at the end of the day, people are the key to do effective ESG integration. And last but not the least, set up a journey starting with goal settings, roadmaps, and robust scenario planning, because that will help us tackle any crisis management issues at a later stage. Of course, it's a learning and continuous improvement process.